No. No, no, no. No, 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 don't do that!
Unrequited love sucks. You would much rather the person you like to like you back. Just a hypothetical. If you could wish that the person you like would love you more than anyone else in the world, would you make that wish? Even though you know, as it stands, they don't like you, let alone love you. No cheating. Put your answer in the comment right now and we'll see what type of person you are by the end of this video. Because last night, I went and watched Obsession, and we need to have a chat about it. First of all, we have to give credit where credit is due. These YouTubers that have been breaking into the horror film space, like cinema horror film space, the film Barbarian talked to me, and recently, along with Obsession, Backrooms. These all came from YouTubers. Like, that wasn't a thing like 10 years ago. If you wanted to make a film, you needed to be in the space. It's really good to see that creators can reach that level of exposure and success. And you've probably seen a skit or two from this guy that directed Obsession, Curry Barker. You've probably also heard the stats, right? Like that the budget was $750K, and now I think they're over 179 million worldwide. That's insane, especially for a film that just took 20 days to film. Like, really impressive. Now, in normal conditions, you would look at that budget, you would look at the time they took to film and say, well, that's not going to be a good film. Why is this such a good film? The actors. And I'm not trying to glaze when I say this. I think Indy Navarrete hard carried this film. I'm not going to take that back. I'm not going to explain myself. If you watch the film, you probably know what I'm talking about. This doesn't take anything away from Curry Barker, you know, the director. This doesn't take anything away from the other actors. The other actors were insanely amazing too. I just said the reason why this film did so good under the circumstances of filming it is because of the actors. It just happens that Indy Navarrete is just a super good actor. So the two main characters of this film is Nikki and Bear, right? Indy Navarrete played Nikki. Michael Johnston played Bear, or Baron is his real name. And then we got the friends of Bear and Nikki, which is Ian and Sarah. Megan Lawless played Sarah, and Cooper Tomlinson played Ian. I don't really like the idea of summarizing the movie. I think that's just gonna take a long time, and I mean, just go watch the movie, to be honest. It's a really good film. But I will give you a synopsis. So Nikki and Bear are childhood friends. Bear is a hopeless romantic. He really is into Nikki, and he is trying to find a way to tell her. The only problem is, it doesn't seem like Nikki feels the same way about him. Now, Ian is the homie. He's consulting Bear on what he should say, how he should approach, you know, talking to Nikki. But then we find out later that Ian was actually sleeping with Nikki casually. Nothing romantic. And then we got Sarah. Sarah does like Bear, right? It's pretty evident. I thought it was also pretty evident that, you know, Bear had something for Sarah too. It's just that he liked Nikki. So Bear tries to make a few passes at Nikki. Ian is actively putting guardrails up on how he can do it. But every time Bear gets close, he backs out or he gets interrupted. So one night, Bear gets some alone time with Nikki, right? He offers to take her home, and the conversation went there. Skip forward, everything seems very bleak, like he just ruined any chance of getting with her, and he crashed out.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
Nikki comes right back outside, and all of a sudden, she wants him to come inside, or she wants to go over to his house. And from then on, Nikki is obsessed with Bear. But there's a little bit of friction because he's confused. He's asking her a bunch of questions and she's not accepting it really well, right? She wants to sleep in the same bed as him. She wants to cuddle. Every time he gets up throughout the night, she's like, where are you going? But there were times where she was all over him and then she would like almost snap out of it, right? And freak out. It was almost as if Bear created a new personality within her when he made that wish. And that's the Nikki that is taking over. But fast forward, it starts getting worse and worse and worse. Really bad things start happening. After he noticed that this wasn't really his Nikki, he tried to call the number on the back of the One Wish Willow box. And they basically told him, we can't cancel it and we can't alter the wish. You have to die.
Well, yeah, I mean, as long as you live.
As long as I live.
So Bear decided to take a bunch of pills to set her free. Right after he took the pills, he had second thoughts. So he tries to make himself throw up. And then we hear the breaking of a One Wish Willow outside of the bathroom door. Nikki wished that Bear would love her too. His whole demeanor changes. He unlocks the bathroom door and goes out there. But at that point, Bear had already taken the pills. So, I mean, he passed out, right? He started having a seizure. And her loving Bear more than anyone else in the world means if he isn't here, well, she has no purpose to be here. So she tries to unalive herself. But Bear died before she was able to do that. And she snapped out of it, right? But now she's free. She's killed 2 people. And she starts freaking out. And the film ends with her uncontrollably sobbing. So that's the summary of this film without trying to go too deep into anything. But I'll tell you, man, I have not seen a horror film in a while that has given me shivers all over my body. Like, certain moments in this film really made me feel uncomfortable. Would it be fair to say that this movie is about be careful what you wish for, because you might actually get it? Or is it about codependency? Curry Barker said he was striving for this movie to, be about codependency. I didn't really get that from the film, but I'm also not one to go against what the actual, creator says it is. I can have my opinion about it, but that doesn't supersede what the actual person that made it says it is. Like, that's crazy. I also thought it was ironic who was being portrayed as being the most obsessed. Visually, in the entire movie, you would say that Nikki is the obsessed one, but it's really Bear. He made a wish that goes against the agency of choice from Nikki. It wasn't Nikki's choice to love Bear more than anyone in the world. And now, granted, I'll give it to you, he said he didn't know that it would work. I mean, who would think that a one-wish willow would work? Now, albeit very tough options that he had to free her, he never did anything afterward when he knew what was going on. He went the entire movie lying to his friends and kind of just coping. Because like he said, this is all he's ever wanted. He really did mean that, but that was very selfish. And Nikki is the real victim here. The villains in this story is Bear and Ian. Ian is horrible because, he was sleeping with Nikki without telling Bear about it. And that would have kind of stopped all of this, right? My overall thoughts of the movie, I had a lot of fun. There was, little glimpses of comedy in there, right? Where it was actually quite funny things happening. But it was blended well with the horror. There was very visceral sounds in the movie theater, right? Very loud, sudden sounds that really makes you jump out of your skin a little bit, which I enjoy that. The story in it of itself was very interesting, right? It's a very relatable dynamic that they introduced. The performance of Indy Navarrete was actually just insane. Like, my heart was constantly beating faster when she was on screen. The dinner scene, the scene where she was at the get-together with all those people, like, really nervous when she gets on screen because you don't know what she's about to do. It's insane. Bear's performance, Michael Johnston, I believed how terrified he was in certain moments. He was a very good actor as well. There's a lot of times where performances can pull you out of the immersion, right? Where it's like, a person wouldn't react like that in this situation. No, the things he said, the facial expressions he made, how he reacted to everything she was doing, 100% accurate to what anyone would do. But if I have final thoughts, one thing to take away from this film, Bear is a coward. He could not go through with any of his decisions the entire movie. From telling her how he felt, to freeing her, to, unaliving himself, which is very dark, but he backed out of everything he did. And he caused a lot of pain and suffering to all the people around him. Because of his cowardice, Nikki had to basically take a back seat, observe someone else living her life and doing horrible things with no control over it, and both of his friends died. So one thing I really got from this movie is you have to learn how to make the hard decisions in life, right? Because, the butterfly effect is very real, right? But anyway, I'm gonna rate this film 10 out of 10. It was literally a very fun experience. Like, it's not like the best horror film I've ever seen in my life, but dude, it's really good, especially for $750,000 budget in 20 days. Like, what? The concept of this world, the believability of the characters, the cinematography. It was a beautiful film as well. But we already knew it was going to be shot well because Blumhouse is the studio. Remember at the beginning of this video when I said to comment below whether you would make that wish or not? Now you know whether you're a coward or not, okay? If you said you would have made that wish, you were a coward. Yeah, I'm looking right at you. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about being a coward? Couldn't be me. I tried to not make this video too long, so, obviously there's a lot of stuff that I did not mention, and that's fine. If you want to talk about this film more deeply, let's do it in the comments down below. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. If you want to watch another one of my breakdowns, it should be on the screen somewhere now, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. There's a particular scene that I thought about after I finished recording, and it was when Bear left Nikki at the house by herself all day and he found her standing in the same spot. It looked like she puked, went to the bathroom on herself multiple times. Like, it looked bad. It was so shocking that I didn't put too much thought into it. I was like, wow, that's crazy. When he closes that door, it cuts to her just standing there, smiling. He specifically said, I wish Nikki Freeman loves me more than anyone else in the whole world, but that would require Nikki to put him over everyone, including herself. So when it comes to the state that we found her in, it makes sense that she didn't go to the bathroom. She didn't take care of herself while he was gone, because when he's not there, she's not there either. Her whole purpose by that wish is to serve Bear. And yeah, I was about to leave and I just wanted to, like, you know, mention that. That is haunting. There's other scenes that we can talk about, obviously, but I don't want to get into that. Some of the things you just need to see for yourself. It's probably not a good thing to put on YouTube. So I'm gonna go get my coffee. What kind of coffee do you guys drink? I'm a matcha latte type of guy. Goodbye for real this time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for spending some time with me, and catch me in the next video. Peace.